Hey guys, so today I'll be doing a full review of the new ShengShou FangYuan 3x3. Now the ShengShou FangYuan is a semi-budget cube, costs around $8 to $10, that's US dollars depending on the shop that you get it from. This puts it in the same price range as the Qi Thunderclap, which is widely considered to be one of the best mid-price 3x3s. Unfortunately, I don't have a Thunderclap to compare it to, so I'll just be comparing it to the other 3x3s I have and let you decide what you think of the FangYuan. And for this review, I thought it'd be fun to kind of show off a little bit of my collection here, just put my various cubes on display while I'm at it. So there's the various cubes that I do have here. And I also thought it'd be fun to show off these. These are, I got these like for, I think they were 50, 60 cents, somewhere in that area, 50, 60, at Party City. And they're just picture cubes with various characters on them. This one's Star Wars, Spider-Man, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and they are absolutely horrible. The only one that I've actually scrambled and solved is this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles one, and it took me like 8 minutes. I average like 30, 40, somewhere in that general area, 35 seconds on a 3x3, and it took me 8 minutes to solve this thing, which part of that probably is because I've never solved a picture cube before, so it was hard getting the centers all oriented properly and things like that. But it's just really a terrible cube. But you know what? It was 50 cents, and it looks cool, and it adds to my collection, so I thought, hey, they're fun, why not? So anyway, with that out of the way, back to the ShengShou FangYuan review. Now this is a slightly heavier cube. It's not really too heavy, it's just, its weight feels substantial. It makes it feel kind of rugged, like it could take a bit of abuse. Now I haven't had the courage to try abusing it, like throwing it against the wall or anything like that to check that out, but that's just kind of how it feels. It feels like, you know, it could at least withstand a couple of drops or scrapes without really damaging it very badly. Now it does have pretty good corner cutting, which is pretty comparable to most modern cubes. It's not really a bad one, but it's not perfect either. There's a one spot right there where it can lock up, but it does have good corner cutting overall. Like I said, pretty comparable to most modern cubes these days. But you know, I've never actually had any lockups during my solves or any pops or anything, and I actually have a pretty fairly aggressive turning style. I'm not the most accurate turner, so if anybody was going to have lockups, it'd be me, and I haven't had any. Now, the turning on this does feel very nice and very smooth. It is a bit slower than some other cubes, like the Weilong GTS or the Valk. I would say speed-wise, it'd be pretty comparable to the Gans Air, which I reviewed not too long ago. And like I said, slower than the Valk 3 or the Weilong GTS. It does have a bit of clickiness to it, which is very satisfying. And it's got a little bit of a sandy feel, but not very much. So it's mostly smooth with a little bit of clicky kind of feel. The closest thing I have to compare it to would be this one here. This is the Qi Sail, and it's got a similar kind of feel to it. Now the Sail does have just popped a little bit while I was just showing it off there. So it's got a similar feel to it, to the Sail, but it is nicer with the better shape of the pieces there, because the Sail is a little bit more square and doesn't have as good a corner cutting, and it has a little bit more problems with popping and lockups and things like that. Now, the color scheme on the ShengShou FangYuan is actually pretty nice. From what I can tell, I think it's exactly the same as the color scheme on my ShengShou Legend, which would make sense because they're both from ShengShou. So here is the Legend. I've got a crazy bad sticker on there because I like to support the guy, because he did a great job with his F2L tutorials and various videos that have helped me out learning how to cube. But as you can see, the colors on these two cubes are pretty much identical. Yeah, nice colors there. Now, as far as compared to some other cubes colors, here's the Valk 3, which is where it gets really noticeable that it's different. So let me show this for a second. As you can see here, the yellow on the ShengShou FangYuan is a little bit darker, a little bit muted, and then as far as the blue is a lot darker on the Valk 3. It's got brighter blue on the FangYuan, and same thing here. This is kind of a fluorescent-y green on the Valk, whereas it's kind of muted grass green kind of look on the ShengShou. And then same thing with the orange. The reds are almost the same, but the orange on this one is a little muted. a little bit darker. This one is a little bit more fluorescent, which honestly, that's the one thing I don't like about this color scheme is the orange, because there's not a huge contrast between the orange and the red, which when you're doing it in when you're cubing in low light conditions, like late at night or just with a reading lamp on or something like that, it can be hard to tell the difference between the orange and the red there. And same thing with the yellow and white, now that I think about it as well. On the camera they look very noticeably different. In person, it's I mean, they're different, you can tell, but when it's dark and you're just cubing with a lamp on or something, it's a little harder to tell whether the one you have is the yellow, green, red square or the white, green, red or something like that. So anyway, that's the color scheme there. Overall, I would say the FangYuan is exceptional for the price. It would be a great option for someone just starting out in cubing or looking to upgrade from a really cheap budget cube like, you know, the Sail, the ShengShou Legend, something like that. Compared to other cubes in the price point, the only other one that I have in the similar price point is the FangYuan Mars, which, if you saw my last video, I was not a fan of the FangYuan Mars at all, so this is by far a better cube. Honestly, I think this cube is almost as good as like the Weilong GTS, the Valk 3, things like that, and less than half the price of most of those. So definitely a great option, at least for my style of cubing. So yeah, so that's my review, and if you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section below. And of course, if you like this video, subscribe to my channel, hit the like button, so you can see future reviews that I do. Thanks for watching.